inflation.
Okay, I know this isn't my usual subject matter, but I've been sitting on this for over a decade, and I can't take it anymore. You are wrong about How I Met Your Mother's ending. Assuming you agree with the cultural zeitgeist of the 2010s, at least. For those of you who don't remember a network TV sitcom old enough for Jason Boebert to lose interest, here's a refresher. The show's main gimmick is its framed narrative, where a faceless, near-future Ted Mosby explains to his children the series of events that led to him meeting their mother. Each episode flashes back to what was then present-day Ted, played by Josh Radnor in what should pop up when you Google perfect casting decisions. I won't recap the entire series for you, but one recurring plot point you need to understand is the love triangle between Ted, Robin, and Neil Patrick Harris. I mean Barney. Ted and Robin have some will-they-won't-they tension, then they date for a bit. Which obviously doesn't go anywhere. She's called Aunt Robin for a reason. Barney catches feelings for Robin somewhere along the way, then they have some will-they-won't-they tension for a bit before they start dating, which culminates in their season-long wedding. It's after this wedding that Ted meets Tracy, love of his life and the titular mother. If the show didn't have a spine, this is where it would have ended. However, to a lot of fans' chagrin, this is just the beginning of the controversy. The series finale speedruns the next 12 to 13 years, during which time Robin and Barney divorce and Tracy dies. In the final scenes, we return to the future, where Ted's kids point out that this was never a story about their mother, but about Aunt Robin. The story starts when they meet, and ends when she officially becomes off the market. As it turns out, Ted's whole reason for telling them this story was to butter them up so he could get their blessing to start dating again. Their blessing given, Ted runs off to find Robin, where they presumably live happily ever after, having depressing middle-aged sex. Fans at the time completely rejected this ending, believing it was some contrived way for the writers to have their cake and eat it too. And they're not completely wrong. The ending was planned from the start, and due to the uncertain nature of contract renewals, the writers were always going to have to jump through some hoops to untangle the web of bullshit they weave to keep the show running. But when you understand what Ted's actual character arc is, you'll finally appreciate the true brilliance of this ending the way I do. See, it's not about Tracy or Robin or any of the numerous women Ted describes having sex with to his teenage children. It's about Ted coming to terms with the realization that true love is not real.
Well, you certainly are very persuasive.
So I've been told.
Ted's whole thing throughout the show is finding the one, his soulmate, the one perfect woman he's destined to spend his life with. Over the course of the series, his faith in finding the one is tested and even permanently bent on occasion, until at last he finally meets her, his perfect partner. Sadly, Rick and Morty didn't exist yet, so no one told Ted to factor mortality into his love philosophy. So now what? What do you do when you wholeheartedly believe that there's only one person in the world for you and they're gone? Are you expected to spend the rest of your life alone? But finding the one doesn't remove the desire for intimacy. Ted telling this story to his children isn't just about getting their permission to start dating again. It's about justifying his own feelings to himself. After all, he found the one, so why does he still have feelings for Robin? More importantly, what was the point of that episode where he made a whole thing about letting go of those feelings when he apparently didn't let him go that far? Maybe I'm reading way between the lines here, but I think the point the show is trying to get at is that there really is no the one. Love is way too complicated for that. People fall in love, get together, drift apart, and not always in that order. Even perfect couples aren't always as perfect as they seem. Hell, the only reason Marshall and Lily are still together is that Lily's secretly a psycho stalker bitch and Marshall's kinda into that. If Mr. Wannabe Wife Guy can find his dream girl and still pine for past loves, maybe there's more to relationships than just finding whoever the universe gave the other half of your metaphorical heart medallion. Even staying single is perfectly valid, as shown when Barney gives up his lecherous ways to raise his daughter because being a dad fixed his daddy issues. No, really, there's actually some merit to that. See, if you look at the Greek concept of storge,